You know, then their eyes. Oh no, everybody keep texting. Okay, one.
I only have 2 viewers. Okay, I just sent them an email out. Who is it? Yeah, send it to him directly.
Yeah, the thing just kind of completely shut off. And Josh is sending a new link, so the new link is coming on now. Okay.
That is.
Yeah, and then Pearl also. Um, okay, so now their eyes were open. Number one, to a whole new reality, um, and they knew that they were naked. That's number two. And then they sew fig leaves, together to cover themselves, and that's number three, as well. So if you look at that, their eyes were open. So their eyes were open to a whole new reality. Their eyes was open to a whole new reality, and then that whole new reality realized that. Do you know what they lost? The one thing that they lost was that they lost the covering. Mm-hmm. They were not naked. Yeah. They were not naked. Mm. They were covered by God's glory. Mm-hmm. That's what I was teaching about light, life, and glory. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But then the glory lifted up because they've yielded to the enemy. Wow. And so when the glory, then they just realized that, so now I have to, they exalted the devil said, I'm going to arise, I. The same. Exactly. He lost his glory, he lost his, so I, again, I. So the exalted, I want this, I don't want this, I am, it's all I. Mm-hmm. That's the whole thing. And so now they started covering their husband and wife, but now how are they covering their nakedness? It changed the dynamics in our relationship. It changed the dynamics of our relationship with God. There are things that they lost right there. Let me, and then, how do you read the next one?
They heard the sound of the Lord God walking in the garden in the cool of the day. And the man and his wife hid themselves from the presence of the Lord among the trees in the garden.
So now look at that. So number one, the eyes were open to a whole new reality. Number two, they were naked. They discovered that they were naked. Number three, now they began to find a way to cover. That's what people say. The Bible says, he who hides his sin will not prosper. Sometimes we just want to take things to cover, want to hide things, want to cover things, as well. And so now they wanted to cover their own, had a whole new set of covering. Number three, and then why? Their connection with God was disconnected. And the dynamics in their relationship. So now, knowledge, listen carefully to this, knowledge and information, which was deception, made man fall from what? Number one, there are 7 things man fell from. Man fell from these 7 things. Number one, they fell from the covering from God. They fell from the covering of God. You see, when you have that covering from the Lord, there is light, life, and there's glory. Mm-hmm. There's innocence, there's purity, there's holiness. He said, be ye holy from holy. When God covers you, because he's holy, because his glory, God his light, God his life, when God covers you, so they lost that covering. That's the first thing. Number two, they lost their position. They lost their position. When you talk of position, there was a position of authority, position of dominion, position of rulership, and position of influence. They lost that. Oh, okay. So they lost. Number two, they lost their position, and the position is what? Position is what? Dominion, authority, rulership, and influence. Number three, they lost their identity. You know who they were. They lost their identity. But see, you can't define who you are apart from God. God is like the mirror that you look into and you see yourself. And so they lost their identity, who they are. Number four, they lost their relationship with God. You see, I mean, what really kind of shocked me is this. When God created Adam, right? After God created Adam, and God put a spirit in Adam, the Bible says Adam became a living soul, right? The moment Adam opened his eyes, the first person he saw was God. The first presence that he felt was God. The first person he communed with was God. And now the devil came in and altered all of that. And God is getting us back into that. So, number four, they lost their relationship with God. They run from that presence, from his presence, and they hate themselves. Number four, they lost, number five, sorry, they lost the dynamic of their relationship with each other. Do you know that even in our marriages now, it's like we can speak to each other, we can tell each other how we feel, there's some things that we can't bring it out, we can't talk about for fear of, oh my God, it's going to turn to an argument, it's going to turn to this. So, you know, we need to recapture the dynamics of the relationship that they had, where they were transparent, where there was a covering, where his presence was there. You know, always pray, God, we need your presence. He said, he who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor. You see, so they lost their relationship, you know, with each other, the dynamics of the relationship with each other. You know, number six, they lost power. And the power is the ability to execute, you know, which is to display life, light, and glory. They lost the power of God. You know, Adam could just, you know, name the animals, and because God is power. So he created them very powerful beings, you know, but we lost that power. And then number seven, you know, they lost, you know, the works of God. They couldn't display God's works. They couldn't express God on earth. So we're supposed to express God on earth. So the seven things that, you know, if you look, they lost the covering from God, they lost their position, they lost their identity, they lost their relationship with God, his presence, and they lost the dynamics of their relationship with each other. They lost the power, and then they lost demonstrating the works of God, revealing the works of God. That is why the Bible says in Ephesians chapter 4, verse 22, and in James 4, 7, and you want to read?
Ephesians 4:27, New American Standard. And do not give the devil an opportunity. Leave no room or foothold for the devil. Give no opportunity to him.
That is the two versions there. The first one is New American Standard Version. The other one is Amplified Version. It said, leave no such room. Don't give, if you give him an opportunity, an inch, he comes in, he will mess it all up. It said, give him no room. But now, James 4:7.
Resist. So be subject to God. Resist the devil. Stand firm against him, and he will flee from you.
So it says, submit to God, resist the enemy. Do you know that we always could have scripture say, resist the enemy? I see the devil is physically right here, that you're resisting. But the phrase says, submit to God. How do you submit? You submit to the knowledge. You submit to who God is. You submit to, so we submit because the enemy is coming through thoughts. So you submit to God, then you resist the enemy, and he flees from you. Now, given there are things here that I'm going to give to you, some of the ways about 11 things, the ways that the devil comes in. 11 ways that the devil comes in through thoughts, through imaginations, and all of that. You need to know, because the Bible is saying that resist. You have to understand that from the very time that he fell, that he fell from glory, and then he caused man to fall in the garden, Jesus came to restore us back, not even just to the Garden of Eden, but to a higher place.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to get back to the way Eden was. I want to get back to where, because now I'm sitting with Christ in heavenly places. It's a higher place. And so the thing is that you need to find that we need to guard against that. There are things that we need to do to make sure. We have to know, Paul said, be not ignorant of the device of the enemy. How does the enemy comes in? How does he come in with his thoughts and different things to come in? Because he's still coming through knowledge. He's still coming through deception. Coming, and we are sorting ourselves. Look at this, look at that, and all of that. Every day these thoughts are coming and changing and attacking and all of that. Our children are also doing the same thing. They come in and they're saying that, Mommy, I can't do this. I don't think I can do this. I am whatever. And so there's so many mediums that the devil was using to bring information. And so we need to know some of these ways that the devil communicates those information, and for us to be able to stand against that, to submit to God and to resist the enemy, and that he will flee. Number one, if you want to write these things down, I have 10 of them or 11 of them here. Number one, he comes directly. Direct. When I say direct, I said, it's invisible to the naked eye, but visible to the spirit eye. Jesus looked at Peter. He said, Satan, get thee behind me. So that means the devil was right there whispering to Peter to say what he said. So he comes in directly. So directly, he can just give you thoughts directly. There are thoughts that you bring to your mind directly. And so you need to be able to stand against that. Thoughts that come into your mind directly. You wake up, information comes, thoughts come, different things come. And so he comes, number one, he comes directly. Number two, he comes through culture and traditions of men. He comes through culture and the traditions of men. He comes through culture and the traditions of men. Jesus said, by the traditions, they've made the word of God no effect. It comes through culture and the traditions of men. So we want to stand against it. We got to know that, let's not hold on to our culture, in the Southern culture, in African culture, in American culture, in this culture, in the, we got to be mindful, of that. If the culture doesn't really define, God, we need to lose that culture, because we have a whole new culture. You have to understand that, a whole new tradition. Number three, it comes through people. It comes through people. And what I said is that, who is feeding you? Where do you get your source of food? The food for your soul, information, knowledge. Who is feeding you? It comes through people. It comes through people. Jesus didn't tell Peter, get thee behind me. He said, Satan, get thee behind me. He was coming through Peter. Look at, he came through the serpent. He comes in through people in disguise so he can have his way. Number four, he comes in through objects like books, movies, audio, and music. He comes through objects. People start listening to some music. All of a sudden, it takes over them. And then they start behaving that way. Our children, video games and all the different things, and killing, and so they go to that most of these children who can't sit still and be quiet is as a result of so many, some of these images. And it gets them all hyper and all whatever. And because it's still, they can't quiet. So now we got to teach our children, no, sit. Teach them, no, sit. Relax. Let's just sit. Let's not, it doesn't have to be always activity. Let's just sit. Let's just be quiet. Let's, meditation is good. Sit quietly, just think, just reflect. It's something that we all need to teach our children, to not just ourselves, but it's time that, it's time for us to have that moment of quiet and silence, as well. So it comes to object like books. I remember years ago, there was a lady that I was I ministered to deliverance, and and there was a strong spirit of lust that I was dealing with, in her, and it came through books. It came through this book that they used to read long ago called Mills and Boom. You know that book?
Students delight.
Yeah. And there's so many series, and it was all about love and romantic and the person. And sometimes they would read it. My sister would read it and start crying and wonder what was going on. The person, oh my God, So it comes in. So knowledge, comes. I mean, and then Lord of the Rings, those things, all these things. So we have to be careful. Sometimes when you watch something, it can vex your spirit.
Yeah.
Move away, protect the way you feel. Just move away from that. Objects. Do you know that if you keep watching that thing and it starts vexing you and you don't refrain from it, and you keep watching, afterwards something in you dies. So now you can watch without.
Yes.
So we don't protect, ourselves. But if you think about it, what would that do to you? It will not add nothing to you. The people that just watched, they just made their million. They got a paycheck. You didn't get no paycheck. They didn't say to you because you watched, let me share a paycheck with you. They don't even know you. Let me think about that. Do you see how sometimes people can even argue with each other and fight because they missed their show? Honey, you didn't record it for me? How? And I get upset. And I'm fighting with my spouse or fighting with my child, fighting my home for somebody who's making millions, who doesn't know Jack, doesn't know me. Yeah. Let me think about that. It doesn't make sense. Because I missed that show. What would that show do to you? And so through object, the next one is he comes in through our past experiences. He comes into our past experiences, both negative and positive. Both negative and positive. Now, why positive? The fact that God did something one way years ago doesn't mean that He's going to do the same thing the same way. You have to understand. He comes into both negative and positive. You got to find the negative experience that we've been through. As a result of that, if we're not healed, we make choices based on that. Positive things, God's always doing a new thing. But we can just take the positive thing and say, oh, that's the way God always moves, and that's the way it's supposed to be. No, Moses said something to God. If I find business, show me your glory. But I say, teach me your ways. God is always doing something new. So He comes in through, past experiences, both negative and positive. Number 6, He comes in through the bloodline, ancestry, parental. He comes in through the bloodline, ancestry, parental. Number 7, He comes in through authority. People who have rule over you. Comes through authority. Comes in through authority. Those that have rule over you. Let me say something here. I don't know about why God is keep bringing marriage again. Michelle, I want to give an example here. Michelle is a son of God. I am a son of God, right? She needs to grow in her relationship into sonship and maturity in God. I need to grow in my relationship in maturity and with God. Now, we have come together within the covenant of marriage where God is the head and we are co-equal because of a role. Being a husband is a role. Being a wife is a role. I am a son playing the role of a husband. She is a son playing the role of a wife. And so when it comes, it's not because I'm preferred over her or I'm the head of the house and so I got the law. It's got nothing to do with that. It's got to do with role. You see, and so what it is that God has said, if I find my place as a husband, husbands love their wife. Husbands, I'm supposed to, the washing of the word, protect, do all that, whatever role that a husband is supposed to play, that's what you play. Whatever role that a wife is supposed to play, that's what she plays. And it's not one preferred over the other, but it's just a role so that God's purpose will be accomplished. Children are fine. They're okay. They don't cry, so that the role, because God has Don't sacrifice your personal relationship with God for marriage. If I come to the place where I can't pray, I can't talk to God, I can't serve God, I can't please God. If she comes to a place where she can't pray, she can't. I'm not saying that. Let me. I'm not talking about church. I'm talking about church. I'm not talking about just getting up. Honey, I got to go to church. I got to be at church. I'm not talking about church. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about church. I'm not talking about meetings and no. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the fact that my personal relationship with the Lord. Because I'm a son. If I don't enjoy my sonship, that marriage will be wicked. If I don't embrace, if she doesn't know who she is and I don't know who I am, then what are we going to bring to the table? Nothing. But who I am, when I go to God as a son and I'm growing in my relationship with God, that God empowers me and I bring that in there. And I can't say, honey, man, God should be in a relationship with me. Man. And I start sharing with her. Then she comes and says, honey, can you guess what? God just revealed. I said, my God, that's cool. That's cool. Man, we gotta. So what? We come in. You see, the strength is that in your relationship with God, and that's what you bring to everywhere you go. To the roles. Husband is a role. Father is a role. Mother is a role. All this is our role. But what happens is that people just take their children and they allow their children to control them and they do everything because of their children. And when they are gone and they are gone, now they don't know why they're married in the first place. You see, you can't lose you for marriage. You can't lose you for parenting. You've got to find out who you are. And when you know who you are, that's what you bring into that role. And you help that role. Because your children will go someday.
You can turn your role into your identity.
I love that. I love that. Don't turn your role into your identity.
But that's really what happens most of the time. Sometimes you watch TV a lot and you just know, who are you? And they start to describe their role. They start to describe what they do. Yeah. But they ask, who are you? They tell you what they do, but they don't tell you who they really are. Oh, I'm a wife, I'm a mother, I am an accountant. Yeah. So we often use our roles as our identity.
Yeah, let me write that. And so now the question is that, who are you? Everybody need to answer that. Who are you? You are not a wife. You're not a husband. You see, do you know that because we define identity in our roles, when somebody's not married, they feel they are incomplete.
That's true.
Because we define our identity in our roles, when somebody's not married, they think they're incomplete. When somebody doesn't have something, they think there's something wrong with them. But who you are has got nothing to do. You got to find who you are before you get in. If you don't know who you are, what you get in will define you.
You need your son. Can I get my son? I have to speak.
What's that?
I have to go. Can I get my son?
Oh, yes. Okay. Now, yeah. Assignment in there. Let me explain. Let me go a little bit ahead of because she has to leave. Now, the thing is we're talking about mindset. Let me finish this thing real quick. So we're talking about the number eight. He comes into our passions, our likes, and our treasure. Bible says, where your treasure is, that's where your heart is going to be. So your passion, you got to be careful. With me, one of the things that I love, I'm a giver. I help a lot, and most of the things that the enemy came against me was through the same. People came through because they know that I gave, I helped, I whatever. He'll come through. So you got to know what your passion is and allow the Lord to lead you in your passions. The devil knows each one of us. He knows the way we behave, and he knows the very thing that will trick you, and he knows the very thing that will cause you to open up to him. And so he's going to come through your passion. He's going to come through that. He's going to come through your likes, your passion, your treasures. So you got to be able to guard against that. Be lured of the Lord.
Like people like hobbies.
Yeah, I mean, what your passion, what he knows that it gets you. He will come through that. He will come through that. How many times does it bring people And the people, we just felt like, oh my God, we have so much in common. Because we spoke the same thing, we had the same like, only to realize that it was devil in disguise in the end. He's still coming, hiding through things, through people, to coming to execute his own word. So I'm not saying don't have passions or all of that, but what I'm saying, just allow the Lord to lead. Don't let your passions control you. Let the Lord lead you. If you let your passions control you, that is when the enemy, would come in. The next one is number 9. He comes through dreams, visions, and revelations. Dreams, visions, and revelations. And then number 10, he comes in through our 5 senses: see, hear, feel, taste, smell, touch. Did I give 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See, hear, feel, smell, and feel and touch, and the same. Taste and smell. Taste and smell. Now, the scripture, I'm going to get your assignment. The scripture, the assignment that I was going to give is going to be based on 2 Corinthians chapter 10, verses 3 to 6. 2 Corinthians 10, 3 to 6. We're talking about, it says, for though we walk, 2 Corinthians 10, 3 to 6. It says, for though we walk in the flesh, we do not wage war according to the flesh. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but they are mighty through God to the pulling down strongholds, casting down imaginations, or imaginations or arguments, or everything that exalts itself against the knowledge of God, bringing every thought to captivity to the obedience of Christ, and being ready to punish every disobedience when your obedience is complete. Now, the thing is this: what I put there is that we talk about strongholds, we talk about imaginations and arguments, we talk about exalted knowledge. You say things that exalt itself against the knowledge, and we talk about thoughts, and then the other one is disobedient. So those are the things that the Lord those are the things that all those things are strongholds, imaginations, exalted knowledge, or things, thoughts, captive, and then disobedience. Now those are the things. Now the assignment that I'm giving here is just some guidance. The Lord said, indeed, there are scriptures right here that it talking about, Lord, search me and know my heart, and all of that. I spoke about how we fell from, and Jesus came to restore us back to a higher place. But then you want to be able to search yourself and allow the Lord to reveal to you what are still some strongholds. Let me tell you, stronghold is not negative. Stronghold is not negative. I want the Lord to be my stronghold. I want the truth, faith to be a stronghold in my life. I want love to be a stronghold in my life. And so they are positive. Stronghold is what is feeding that stronghold. What is it that is motivating that stronghold? The stronghold is not a demon. Stronghold is an information. Let me explain again. Stronghold, Jesus came to destroy the works of the devil. So the works, and so the thing is that the stronghold there, I put there the scripture there, I put there negative strongholds, imaginations, exalted things or knowledge, thought, and disobedience. And I put here the positive. Now I left it there. All these one is saying that when you read the scripture, it's talking about God look at the thought and intent of the heart. David was praying for Solomon and said, Lord, give my son, a heart. So his thought and intent will please you, because that's what you look at. So David was praying for Solomon here, about for the thoughts and intent. And here said, Lord, search me and try me and know my heart. See, so now there are some strongholds here, still all of us. There are certain things, certain beliefs, certain traditions, certain mindset that is still a stronghold. You want the Lord to reveal that to you. As the Lord, what is it? What thought? What knowledge? What information? What is it what have I exalted that is keeping me away from you and from accessing all that you have in store for me? So there are strongholds. But then I want to have love as my stronghold, God as my stronghold, faith as my stronghold, that nothing comes in to shake that. There are positive strongholds, but it's a negative that are keeping us away from the Lord. And so, number 2, the imaginations And a lot of, here I define imaginations. Imaginations what? The formation of images, creative power of the mind, the ability to form mental images, of that which are not present. You don't see it physically, but you can form a mental image of that which is not present, as well, and stuff. Yeah, I'll email this part, to you, so because you don't believe it. But then the thing is that so there are strongholds, imaginations, exalted things, which are knowledge, and then there are thoughts, and then there are disobedience. What I was so surprised about is this: the way the adjectives that God used to show us how to deal with them. Cast them down, demolish them, destroy them. Strongholds like a fortress.
Yes.
So if the knowledge that you have that has become a stronghold that is there, fear can be a stronghold. An orphan spirit can be a stronghold. I mean, who am I? I'm nobody. Can be a stronghold. All these are strong. So there's certain knowledge that we have fortified ourselves with, and the end is of the enemy, and it's keeping us away from God and from accessing all that God is bringing to our lives. So we want the Holy Spirit to reveal to the Lord what is this, what are the strongholds in my life, what are the negative things that the enemy has allowed, and I've bought into it, and then I've allowed it to be a stronghold that's keeping me away from you and from accessing all that you have in store for me. So the stronghold, and then also when you call it imaginations, they say the arguments, they say cast down, refute them, demolish them. It says, and those imaginations are what? They are theories and arguments and reasonings, and I got to cast them down. These things, when the God was telling you to deal with them, He didn't say just like a little fly, demolish them.
Radical.
Yeah, that means that these things, that's where the enemy is coming in, and we still get a prey to that. And then it says, look at that. Thoughts captive, take them captive, imprison those thoughts, make sure that it will not progress.
Amen.
Bind those thoughts, make sure they will not progress, make sure that it will not go beyond that. So that I rebuke that thought, I take it captive, and now I'm not going to feed it, I'm not going to allow it to progress. So what are some of the thoughts that come in when you're all alone, and then this thought comes in? I said, don't forget, through people, through what? People's attitude, people's this one, that, oh my God, look at me. This one, they don't like me. So the enemy keeps bringing all these things, and we allow them easily. I'm sorry to say, I hate to use this word. We become like prostitutes. A prostitute doesn't decide who comes in. That means they'll become prostitute when it comes to the mind, the information. The enemy easily brings it, and we take all. You wake up in the morning, somebody calls you and start sharing their own whatever, and then you take it on. Somebody went and you take it on. The way you feel and you take it on. The thought that comes and you take it on. No. You got to be able to push this thing back, demolishing some things. And then, so the thing is this, each one of us have strength. Have strength. We got to identify the strongholds, the imaginations, the exalted things that we've exalted, and then what? The thoughts that have come, and then also the actual disobedience. But it says, when it comes to disobedience, how do you say we should deal with it? It says, punish all disobedience. Punishment. Think about that. How do you punish disobedience? Cause disobedience to suffer. You punish somebody, you cause disobedience to suffer. I'll refuse to disobey God. God told me to bless. I will bless regardless. I don't care what happens. I refuse to disobey. No. That's what I'm saying. God says I should bless. God says I should do what. God says I should give. God says, I say, you know what? I'm going to do it. That means that these things that are coming, you know, Lord, this is my own mind. Is it really? Lord, should I do? How much do I have? Should I? Whatever. I not. No. Punish disobedience. Punish, let disobedience be so punished that it will never come to you again. Punish disobedience. That's what it says. It says punish. If you punish somebody, they will not come to you again. You got to punish. My God, I'm going to go the opposite and do exactly what God told me to do, not what. So look at the way I was shocked as I was reading how the Lord used these adjectives to qualify how we need to deal with strongholds, imaginations, things that have exalted itself, disobedience, and then thoughts. Captive and all of them. War on terror. Yeah, this is a war on terror. Yeah, we have to like Isaac. ISIS. You know, we got to cut the throat of disobedience and all of hallelujah.
Feel the pain and still do it. Right?
But, yeah,
We feel the pain and we still do it.
we still do it because
You don't feel
that's
it.
how you punish
Do it, joy
disobedience.
comes. Yeah.
That's how you punish disobedience. Hallelujah. Amen. So
Amen.
that's that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what you know.
Go and punish disobedience. Okay. Oh, sorry, sir.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Oh, I gotta print more. I've got to print more. I'll print. Just go make copies. Yeah. So now I'm just going to be concluding. Then we can pray. Now let me. I'm telling you, when Bible says set your mind on things about where Christ is, this is it. You can never access anything in God
unless yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
To the 11 ways. You give me number 9 again.
Number 9.
We said dreams.
Now, dreams, visions, and revelation. Yeah, dreams. Like I always say, we don't live by dreams. We don't live by revelation. We don't live by, visions. We live by the word. Every dream, vision, revelation need to be explained through the word. You have to have the base from the word. I mean, people have been deceived, because they live by, I live by revelation. I live by revelation. I live by the word.
Amen. Amen.
I mean, you see people live by revelation, and in their reality, live by the word. Nobody. If you, the only thing that the devil, yeah.
How are you? I don't know. Are we talking about
Hi, brother. I just wanted to tell you thanks for blessing my wife and family. I'm going to do the same for you. Okay, and I said, we're glad God spring you up and one family. And that's so true. The famous Sunday, love you guys. Oh. Sent it 1:54 p.m.
today?
Yeah, today. Okay. Now, real quick, before we pray. Now, you see, the word stronghold. The word stronghold, means, something that is fastened properly fastened. It's like, how many? Well, there's only probably the guys here who can say, when you go to U-Haul and you rent, a car, you rent a trailer, and you put something in the back, and you put the strap around it. You want to kind of fasten it to secure it in place. So a stronghold is something that you fasten so securely, like a fortress, a strong fortification. It is used to denote, various obstacles, resembling a fortress, which obviously works against anything that is of God. It's strongly fortified. That's what a stronghold is. And people would die for their culture, die for their belief, die for what they think, and die for all of that. We need to examine all of that, to know that is it really of God? If it's not of God, it's stronghold, you got to get rid of it.
That's right.
These things become iniquity. You have to understand that. These are iniquities. This is all these things are a condition of the soul, eh? This is the soul. This is what governs the soul. And then we're talking about the imaginations, like I said, formation of images, the creative power of the mind, the ability to form mental images, of something that is not present, as well. And these imaginations, they come from things that we pay attention to, things that we have interest in, and things that we are enthusiastic about. So those are things that might become, that. And we talk about any heighten and exalt itself, that there are some things that somebody, I'll just say to the person that, oh, you know what? They're going to something, and I say, you know what? The Lord is saying the Lord is going to do it. Yeah, I know He's going to do it, but yeah, I know God is going to whatever, but yeah, I know, yeah, the Bible says this, but. So we exalt our feelings, we exalt our emotions, we exalt them by the way we feel, the way all those, we exalt that against the knowledge of God. And so when you go to the hospital, the doctor says something to you, and you come, you say, I know God is going to, yeah, I know, but. And then now we get to a point, you say, Lord, why? Why did it even happen to me? Why should I go through this? And then we're exalting all those things, having as well. And then the thoughts are the product of a mental activity, ideas. Thoughts are seed. They are fruit-bearing seed. Every thought, if we don't take it captive, it's going to bear. It's going to bear the fruit. So thoughts are a product of mental activity. They are ideas, and they are fruit-bearing seeds. And so we need to take them captive. And then the last one, disobedience is what? Going against God's instruction, command, and His word. We should be ready to punish all disobedience, or we'll make our obedience complete. As well.
Yes.
And the final scripture here is 1 John 3:8. 1 John 3:8. For this reason, Jesus was made manifested to destroy the works of the devil. We've got to get our thoughts right. And so this assignment, you are going with the Holy Spirit. This weekend, God spoke to us about faith, spoke to us about forgiveness, spoke to us about vows, spoke to us about, so many things, that He spoke to us about. All these nuggets, we need to take those things and begin to apply and to shape it. So I want everybody just take each of that. Let the Holy Spirit, you don't think what you think or as a stronghold. Let the Lord reveal it to you. What I think as a stronghold, might not be the stronghold. Let the Lord reveal to you. Say, Lord, what is keeping me from accessing you and accessing all that you have in store for me? You are just a thought away from your breakthrough. You're just a thought away from accessing so much. You're just a thought away, from the breakthrough. It's how you see things, how you perceive it. As well. And the thing is this, when you finish all of that, the way, write them down, repent of them, when you identify these things, repent of them, and then begin to, cast it down and, all of that. And then ask the Lord to heal you, your soul, the areas. And then you have to restore with truth. You have to restore with truth. If this doesn't become a habit, because at the end, when we finish dealing with all of that, then what we're going to do is that, because when we all finish and everybody sends me whatever, based on what everybody has sent me, I go through, when we come together, I'm going to do like a mass thing that we're going to confess and renounce and break free and do all of that. And then afterwards, whatever the Lord shares with you, that who you are. Like I ask you, who are you? You've got to define that. Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? You've got to know that. Who you are and, your destination, where you're going. Who you are, where you're going. So if you know who you are, you know where you're going, then we can get there. So you wake up in the morning. So when you come to me, or you talking and you start talking about something that's taking a whole different route, I say, that's not who you are. You told me that is who you are. So who you are, you got to be thinking about it this way, not the other way around. You can't be going that route, as well. And so we need to kind of provoke each other to good works. That's what the Bible says. Provoke each other to good works. The reason why we need to journey together is so that we just begin to pull each other out of stuff. No, we can do it. Let's go. And all of that, so that we can all break through and break into, as well. Do you know that we've not, there are things that God has, if right now, let's begin to start prophesying right now over people, everybody here, you'll be so surprised. Now, I take, let me start with Josh right now. If I look at the season that you're in, one thing that God has said is a season, is a new beginning. The old is gone, the new has come. One of the things that God has said clearly is that, I'm kind of re-echoing the whole thing that you already know. We're talking about wealth. Wealth is one of the ways of provision, one of the ways that God, wants to reveal to you, himself. Now, if I say all these things and I tell Josh all this, which he's heard, what I believe is that he's heard it, but he hasn't believed it. It hasn't become a reality. Do you know why? It hasn't become a reality because if he believes that he's a wealthy person, any wealthy person gives and blesses. It's the mindset. It doesn't matter how much you have. But because you haven't believed it, you think that I'm waiting to get so I can. I already am. And so I'll access. I'm waiting to get so I can. Because I already am. So I access.
So if you say you're waiting to get, then that means you're not yet.
You're not yet. And so God is trying to help us to shift our thinking, that this is who I am. And we're always thinking about somebody else from somewhere else to come and make me who I am. You are the only one that can make you who you are. But you taking what God has said and putting that hold. And you're waking up that this is who I am. This is who I am. This is who I am. So that's where we're going. That's what we're going to. And so then, let's say, I'm giving an example. So Lord, I thank you, God, I'm a wealthy person, and there's a season of increase for me. And Lord, the reason why you're increasing me so I can be a blessing. Lord, I thank you, God. And so, Lord, you're the one that gives seed to the sower. Lord, just give me a seed so I can bless today. Lord, give me this so I can. So it's not what you don't have. It's who you are. So you access it from Him, and then you go ahead and use it. But the enemy can cause you to say that you are not because you don't have. And so we say, wait to get before you can. And you wait and wait and wait because God doesn't work that way. And so that's what I'm saying that, it's like I think Faith. Her name is Faith. And it's not just a name. A name reveals identity and purpose. That means I'm a faith builder. I'm one to inject faith. I am faith. It's got nothing to do with what I'm going through. It's got to do with who I am, wherever I go. And so who I am is what people access from me. Nobody will ever come into my life and go and be discouraged. When you walk into my life, before you leave, there'll be a dose, an injection, an infusion, a coming alive of faith. You will not. And so this is who I am. And so when you form that, then you will become. You see, so we just have to clearly define who we are. And that's why I've been saying that you have to know that you are a son first. A child that has grown into sonship, who have been called to play roles. So don't let the roles define you. You got to define the roles. If you have a righteous president, when they step into the White House, the nation, righteousness exalted. If you have a sinner, when he steps into the White House, sin will be exalted. So it's not the house that defines the person, it's the person that defines the house. Bush reign, man, Dick Cheney, they all had that mindset, war, battle, we got to. So what happened? We are at war. Obama came, hey, tolerance, let's all be peace. Let's not do anything. Let's talk. Let's converse. Let's find a way. And so that's how he's going. Everything is going that way. You see? So it's not the White House, it's the one who is going into it that defines it. And so you got to clearly define who you are. And then the roles that he was according to, would reflect. She has to know who she is to step in the role of a wife. I have to know who I am to step in the role of a husband, the role of a father, the role of your mother, the role of, you got to know who you are, and that steps into that role. Amen. Amen. Any question?
So I get the negative side, the positive.
Now the positive, yeah,
repent and everything.
yeah. So when you identify the negative, you go to the Lord, you ask the Lord what it is, and start repenting of them, renouncing them, demolishing them, and all of that. And then you know that when we conceive those things, it injured us because it's not truth. So you ask the Lord to heal your soul and to restore, and then find out the positive. What is the antidote for that? What is the contrary? What is the opposite? If it's fear, it's faith. What if it's no? And then just begin to meditate on that part. But then you see these areas that become strongholds and thoughts and all that govern our lives. We need to be radical about the positive. I want faith to be a stronghold in my life. I want, who I am to be a stronghold in my life. Then nothing changes. The other day on Facebook, we posted a picture about a conference coming up and something like, and then Gary Oates went and said, I was praying, liked it and was praying that there'll be a move and all of that. And then this guy, I don't know from anywhere, he's not even a friend of mine, went on and then just put, what is kingdom strategies? People just give themselves titles. Number one, he's acting like a fool because you don't know where he came from.
Yeah.
But I used to get offended, but I wasn't. You know what I did? Even my friend, I deleted the message. I don't need that. Yeah. You don't know me, I don't know you. I went to his Facebook ID, he has no picture of himself. He only had drawings and paintings and stuff like that. No, I don't know kingdom strategy. God told me. You see, things will push against who you are.
Yeah.
Things will push against who you are. And every day, each one of us, things are pushing against who you are. Know that everything that's coming against us, sometimes it's blowing your hair, it's all pushing against who you are. God is saying, I'm working something in you. I'm allowing this to kind of push against who you are so you can overcome.
Yeah.
Not to allow them to overcome you, but you overcome those things as well. Identify these things are one thing. Dealing with them on another thing. But then you got to be mindful, you got to overcome them because some things are going to come up to bring those things, but you have to go and overcome them so they can be beneath you and you can be above. Yeah.
Can a belief system be a stronghold?
Yeah. Yeah. You see, it becomes a stronghold where it becomes something that is fortified. Fortification is something that, you firmly secure, you guard it, you protect. A struggle is like imprisonment. You've said you've been imprisoned in there. You're wearing a jumpsuit, you're wearing everything about it. Everything about you just says that you're a prisoner. You see, The stronghold becomes something that you are defined by. Because everybody defines, and sometimes, it's good to ask ourselves. So we have to be honest and open, sometimes I'll just ask Michelle, I say, hey, how am I doing? Am I okay? Is there something that you want to draw my attention to? Once in a while, we ask ourselves these things. And the reason is that, you can't just think that I have it all, I know it all. You want to be able to, we have family, and sometimes we can just be open and go to each other and just say, hey, Josh, how do you see me? Do you think am I, when you come around me, what do you pick up? What do you worry about? Or, you can ask each other, we can, come, and begin, because we need to provoke each other to good works. And don't get personal when somebody says, oh, this is what I see. Oh my God, I'm offended, I'm hurt, I'm vexed. You're too mature. No. You need to bring things to the light. I love you too much. It's like somebody who is, walking and probably his fly is open. And his fly is open, and I'm like, oh, his fly is open. I don't want to offend them, so I'm just going to leave them. Somebody's going to laugh at them.
Diane shared a story with me. Diane shared a story with me the other day. She was walking in one of the metropolitan area in Jamaica. She saw this lady sitting. The lady was begging, but she was sitting with her legs wide open. And she was across the street. And she said, "Buddy just passing," but the lady was unaware of how she was sitting, but she was really exposed. So Diane took some money because she begged him. So she took the money, she crossed the street. She went to her. She gave her the money. And the lady didn't know, so she was like, "Oh my God!" And she was begging her to children.
Yeah.
But she's like, "I couldn't pass."
And so sometimes we just sit and observe and we pass, and we do nothing about it. Because I don't want to offend the person, or I don't want to wonder about, or I don't want to. If it's you, he said, do unto others what you want others to do unto you. If it's you, what would you do? Sometimes you got to even let your head be chopped off to save somebody, which is fine. It's a good cause. I know one time I was in a meeting, and I had this man of God really thinking negative about somebody, and was setting a trap for the person. Was setting a trap for the person, and give him something, a task that was impossible, knowing that he's going to fail, so that he can beat him down. When I heard that, I sat down and I said, Lord, this is not right. I said, Lord, what do I do? If I go tell this person, and I give him a warning, and he goes tomorrow and goes tell him things turn around, I'm the one that I could get, whatever. And so I could say I'm saving myself and not say nothing and see him fall face flat. Or I can throw myself and with a fear of I can get hurt just for him. So I was the Lord. I said, Lord, what would you want me to do? He said, do what you would do if you were in his situation. I said, bingo. So I went and I called him and said, brother, listen to me. Were you given this assignment? She said, yes. When are you supposed to bring it? He said, tomorrow. I said, no. Finish it today. If you can stay and finish it. I didn't tell him all the time. I said, finish it today. And make sure he did it. So when he did it, it diffused. He set another trap again. And then he diffused it. Again, the second time I heard it and diffused it. Now it got to a point where this guy was supposed to stand up for me. He didn't. But it's not because he didn't. I just did what I know I needed to do. But down the line, now God, it was in the same situation with the same man of God, and then now he was supposed to mention my name, and he didn't. And then how did I know? He came to tell me. But it's not what he did. I just did what I knew was right to do. So that it doesn't get hurt and injured again, as well. And so the thing is that, do unto others what you want others to do unto you. Sometimes I'm walking and I see somebody smoking and I go and I just say, man, why are you killing yourself, man? They're just going to kill you. I told them that, because I look at, as well, if you love somebody, you just don't want. That is why, here, when my sisters come and I don't like something, I tell them, I say, honey, I don't like this hair. You got to go change it. Because I'm looking at you. When I look at you, what I see, somebody else is looking and seeing the same thing and is laughing. I'm not going to say, I'm just going to tell you this thing because I love you. And I want you, because when you look good, I look good. You see, so it's like we become each other's keeper. People have to feel free and be, be free around so that they can live. It's a whole different culture and a different mindset, of freedom and liberty.
Yeah.
Amen.
So when do we get this back?
I give you a week. Yeah.
You want them back?
But I want to before Tuesday. Yeah. I want to before Tuesday.
I'll be in office for those of you who want to know what's wrong with them.
But like I'm saying that, take it to the Lord, ask the Holy Spirit to reveal to you all the different categories. What are the things that are keeping you out? Holy Spirit, things that are keeping you. No, I say take it to the Lord. Don't think about this. What I think is a problem. This is what I think. No, ask the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Say, Lord, search me. You know me. Search me. What is it that is keeping me away from accessing you? And what is it that's keeping me away from accessing all that you have in store for me? Because these strongholds, when the season and times change in our lives, we don't. Because sometimes it's fear, anxiety, worry, hurt, wounds, different things. That's why. And so it's like, oh my God, if I let go of this, what is going to happen to me? How am I going to what about what? And all these are keeping us. All these are keeping us. As well. And so, we have a week set up. By next week when we come together, we already have all of that, because I'll go through it, pray, so that when we come next week, we just do some renouncing. The Lord says, stay on this. I'm going to be staying on this, staying on mindset, thoughts, imagination, mindset, thoughts, imaginations. We're going to build on that until we break, because there's strength in us. There's so much in us that these things need to come out. And if you tell me that this is who you are, so afterwards we're going to kind of define who you are. If you tell me that this is who you are, then you got to act like that. You got to start to act like that. It doesn't matter your situation, your condition. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to do with that. That's who I am. When you wake up in the morning as a man, you do what men do. You don't wait to try to become a man to do what men do. You don't wait to become a woman to do what women do. You wake up and you do what, because that's your gender. That's who you are. The same way, if this is who you are, you don't wait for something to come in so you can do. You've got to do it. You can do it. It's like, hey, it's like I see faith and I say, and then we're going to be accountable to each other. We're going to be accountable to each other. When you see anybody, I don't say, hey, hi, how are you doing? I say, hey, who have you blessed today? Wealthy man, who have you given today? What have you done today? And stuff like that. I'm going to start provoking. I'm going to say, you haven't given to nobody today, my God. You got to bless me. You got to go bless somebody right now. Let's go bless somebody. Let's go. I don't care. $5, $10, $2. I don't care. Go buy lunch. What? I don't care what it is. Just, you've got to. Oh my God, that's all I have. I don't care about that. You got to do. That's who you are.
Yes.
Because we got to provoke each other. We got to encourage each other to. Amen.
That's right.
Are we okay with that?
Yeah.
It's all love, man.
Yeah.
Please, nobody's feeling pressure. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Amen. Okay. Because as well. Amen. Okay. As well. Melissa, are you okay? Oh, okay. Melissa, you're breaking things down and you're kind of quiet.
Processing.
As well. And so, but this is final thing that I want you to. Okay. Give me. And watch this, and I want everybody to okay, watch this now, and then okay, now Now, this is roles. You understand?
Oh, yeah.
These are all roles. This is who you are. Defined in God. Playing the role of a husband, a wife, a friend, whatever, CEO, a man of God, a woman, whatever.
Here informs here.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's what I'm. That's my end goal. That's the result. That's where I want us to get to. So we can be breaking free from all these things that we allow them to define us and our past and our whatever, so that we can firmly say this is who I am. The fact that I'm not married doesn't mean, that I'm less. So then I'm not looking. So that with that, I'm not looking for a husband. I'm not looking for a wife. I'm looking for the one who's going to come and access this thing that's good. It's a different mindset. I'm looking for the one who will come and access this thing that is good. Because he who finds, he finds a good thing. It changes that.
Yeah.
Like I'm looking, I'm trying to find till I can become. No. You know what? I know who I am. I know what I am. I know whose I am.
Right here.
Whoever is coming to have this, my God. And so I'm not looking for what I don't have. I'm looking for, one who will come and see the value that is who I am. Who always forever say, oh, thank God for this man. Thank God for this woman. And not the other way around. Or wake up in the morning and say, who is this? Who are you? No. Yeah.
Just your thoughts of people that use always fantasy a lot.
Sorry?
The fantasy of cursing a lot.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on that and how did you handle it?
What I'll handle is that it's a thing of the heart. It's a thing of the heart. I always don't get drawn by the manifestations. I get drawn by what is in the heart. When it's righteous, righteousness comes out. When it's corrupt, that's what comes out. And so if they are Christians, no one, you just begin to question whether they're really saved. Because Christianity, when you are saved, there's change that comes in. And when there's change that comes in, God changes the way you even speak, as well. But if they're not Christians, hey, then one, there's nothing you can do about that. Because you got to pray for them to be saved or to come in, as well. And so there are Christians that some are saved, but they haven't allowed the Lord to work on their hearts. And so when I see someone who's Christian and who's a Christian, I can go to the person and I just say to the person that, you know what, the Lord really wants your heart. He wants you to give your heart to Him. That there are areas in your heart that you're keeping for Him. That's the word the Lord gives me to give to you. That if you're going to allow Him to have your heart to transform you, you're going to see what He's going to do through you. I'll not focus on the manifestation. I'll focus on the heart. Because that normally Christians who work at places that people know they're Christians, when they kiss, like, oops, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that she's there. I'm sorry that he's there. Without saying that I'm a Christian. But just their presence alone sometimes convicts people to save them. And so when they're Christians, there are some Christians that do curse and all of that. That they're raising their heart that the Lord, because I can have a word for them and say, the Lord is saying that He's really, He wants your whole heart. And there is in your heart that you're keeping away from the Lord. And He's knocking and saying He's going to open and let Him come in. He's going to come and transform you so that you can be that person that He wants you to be. And that's going to translate in your speech and everything, your attitude and everything that you do. But when you focus on that manifestation, that then the person will fight back. Who do you think you are? You think you're more better than me? When He said, I don't know, but I just had a word for you. The Lord is saying that He really needs your heart. And even for the unbeliever out there, you can also say that, not a curse anybody. He said, look, the Lord really wants your heart. If you're going to give your heart, He's going to transform you. And that would, that would influence every aspect of your life. Yeah. It's like I was with him one day, went to Panera Bread, and we're having a session there. And then I saw these two women that came. They were really obese, and they came and sat down. And then the Lord said to me, He said, this one is not going to live long. And then so then I asked the Lord why, and the Lord said because of his food diet, what he's doing and stuff. So I was sitting with him, and I said, "Excuse me." And so I went to them. and so when I went to her, I went to the lady and I said to them, I said, hey, I said, my name is Perry, I'm a pastor. I said, while I was sitting there, the Lord gave me a word for you. Is that okay to share with you? And they said, oh, yeah, cool. And I said to them, I said, the Lord is telling me that lately you've been because you are Panera Bread. Being a Panera Bread means that they are health conscious. They are not at McDonald's or anywhere, but they are Panera Bread. They're thinking health. I said, the Lord is saying that lately you've been thinking more about health, being health conscious, eating healthy and all of that. The Lord said it is of Him. It is not just a thought. He said, keep going that route, keep going that way. I didn't tell them that God said you're going to die. No, I just told them that because they already are making the effort. So I came to put them on. God said, keep doing that. You're going to avert that which will be more disastrous to you. It's like Nathan went to David. And if I told David, you have sinned, David he had the power to do that. But he went and said, David, look at the scenario. Look at what happened to your kingdom. He said, who did that? In my kingdom, bring the person to David. I think it's you, man. Ouch. Yeah, you're right. Oh, Lord. So God is revealing, but the way we are communicating that can cause, God to be glorified, or the enemy can take it the other way around. Somebody saw in the church, like in the vision, saw a ship sinking. And then he went and started saying, God is saying he's going to judge this church. The ship is sinking. So now you took half of the 3/4 of the congregation, you follow me and let's go, because God said the ship is going to sink. That's why I say, see the lifeboat. He said, in all you're getting, get understanding. Get understanding. Get understanding. Hallelujah. Okay, just pray for us and we'll go.
Father, we thank you for this teaching. Thank you for this time to just be together with your people. Father, we just ask that you work on each one of us on our mindset, Father God. Father, help to transform our minds, Father God, into alignment with the way you're thinking, Father God, into the reality, Father God, that you have placed before us, Father God. Father, help us to transform our minds that we may see ourselves the way you see us, Father God. May we live out of the access of who you have created us to be, not what we see, what is currently. Father, we thank you for everything that you do for us. Be with us the rest of this week in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Now, the last thing is this. When you finish doing that, what ultimately we're also going to be doing is you want to be able to define your mindset going forward. And what is going to be your beliefs, and then what is going to be your culture, going forward. Because, that's the whole thing. As a man thinking, so is he. So, so we have to be able to embrace what is my mindset. Mindset is what? How I think, how I process my reality. What is going to be my mindset? And what is going to be my belief? What is it that I allow to shape in my life, and what is my culture, my system of behavior. And so we need to be able to, this is the way I behave, and this is the way I behave, and it has to reveal that. It has to reflect that. And so as we move forward, we want to form that new, it said, let this mind be in you, which was also in Christ Jesus. Romans chapter 12, it said, be not conformed, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind. That you will be able to put that which is good as the will of God. And so we want to come to a point where you kind of form the mindset, form that healthy mindset, that kingdom beliefs, and that kingdom culture. That kingdom culture, as well. And so that is where we're going. That is the journey that we are on, but we've got to identify where we are, first, and to move from where we are to where we got to go. Amen. Okay, God bless. Thank you. Yeah.